Welcome to today's Explainer. Right off the bat, I want you to completely throw out everything you think you know about getting older. Seriously, we live in a world absolutely obsessed with anti-aging, right? But today, we're diving into a secret that's been hiding in plain sight for centuries. We're going to look at some mind-blowing insights from ancient traditions and modern science that totally redefine what aging actually means. So get ready to rethink your daily habits, because the real secret to youth, it isn't found in some expensive bottle or a fancy clinic. It's literally built right into your anatomy. So where does aging actually begin? Take a second and really think about it. Most of us, we immediately point to the visible stuff. We think it starts in the skin when we spot that very first wrinkle. Or we think it starts in our hair when we see a gray strand pop up. Or maybe, we think it's in the heart when our energy levels just kind of drop off. But what if I told you that all of those things are just symptoms? The true origin of aging, the actual starting line where youth begins to fade, well, it isn't on the surface at all.
Section 1. The real truth of aging.
Okay, let's dive right into this. The real truth here is that your aging is dictated by your spine. Yeah, you heard me right. That straight column of bone holding you up is actually the master clock dictating how young or how old you truly are. Right now, as you're listening to this, your spine is heading down one of two paths. Either it's alive, flexible, and moving, or it's slowly, day by day, hardening into stone. To really wrap your head around this, just imagine a flowing river. As long as that water is moving, it stays fresh, it's clean, it's full of life. Fish are swimming, plants are growing, the whole shebang thrives. But if you dam up that river, the water just sits there. It becomes stagnant, it gathers toxins, it decays, it starts to smell. And let's be honest, absolutely nobody wants their internal biology to feel like a stagnant swamp. Well, your spine works exactly the same way. When it moves, it's a flowing river of vitality. But when it's stiff and motionless, it becomes stagnant, trapping toxins and practically hitting the fast-forward button on the aging process in your entire body. And that brings us to this incredibly powerful, ancient yogi proverb. Your age is not what the calendar says, it's what your spine dictates. I absolutely love this quote. Just think about it for a sec. The calendar, it literally just tracks how many times you've orbited the sun. That's it. But your biological age, like how your body actually feels and functions every single morning when you roll out of bed, that is entirely dictated by the flexibility of your back. It's just such a brilliant way to bridge the gap between biological aging and how young a person actually feels on a day-to-day basis. Section 2, Ancient Wisdom and Science. Long before modern hospitals, doctors, or pharmaceuticals were even a thing, Himalayan yogis, Chinese Tao masters, and Tibetan monks were consistently living well past 100 years old and doing it with incredibly vibrant bodies. Their secret? The spine. Ancient Indian texts referred to it as Meru Dindan, or the mountain pillar. It's basically the central mountain that your entire body rests on. But here's the thing, it wasn't just physical to them. They believed the spine housed this invisible energy channel called the Sushumna Nadi. And when this channel is open and clear, it brings just immense vitality and keeps disease totally at bay. But the moment this channel gets blocked up with stiffness, the body starts to sicken and rapid aging just swoops right in. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away in China, ancient Taoist masters were talking about this golden fluid in the brain that they called heavenly nectar. They claimed this nectar essentially washes the brain, clears out poisons, and literally stops aging. But, and this is a big but, only if the spine is actually moving. And this brilliantly illustrates what modern science now calls cerebrospinal fluid, or CSF. It's the literal fluid that constantly washes your brain and spinal cord, clearing out all the metabolic trash your brain produces every single day. So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that modern science completely backs up this ancient wisdom. Scientists have found that folks who maintain spinal flexibility actually have much sharper brains in their old age. And why? Because that cerebrospinal fluid is properly flowing. It effectively washes away all those nasty toxins, which actually helps prevent degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. It maintains strong memory and ensures your brain is detoxifying daily. But here's the catch. This fluid only pumps and cleanses efficiently when the spine is in motion. If your spine is stiff, the pump just stops, period. Section 3. Why does the spine stiffen? Now, I'm going to walk you through a ridiculously simple 3-minute technique to fix this in just a bit, but first we got to ask, why do we get so stiff in the first place? Like, how do we go from being these bouncy, flexible kids to, well, aching adults? The answer starts with this number right here, 33. See, your spine isn't just one solid stick of bone. It's actually made up of 33 individual bones called vertebrae. Think of them kind of like 33 individual pearls strung together on a necklace. When that necklace is brand new, every single pearl can move freely in any direction. The whole structure is wonderfully, beautifully flexible. And that is exactly how your spine is naturally designed to be. But then modern life happens, right? We sit at desks for hours on end, we hunch over our phones all day, we basically just stop moving our backs in any sort of dynamic way. And your body, it operates on one very strict rule: use it or lose it. When you stop moving those 33 individual vertebrae, your body just assumes, hey, I guess we don't need that flexibility anymore. So it literally stops sending blood flow to those surrounding muscles, the little spaces between the bones start to shrink, and the body actually begins to fuse those unused bones together like glue. Your beautiful, flexible pearl necklace turns right into a stiff, rigid stick. Crazy, right?
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how this spinal movement directly controls your nervous system. You basically have two main operating modes. On one side, you have the sympathetic system. That's your fight or flight mode. It's great for keeping you alert, sure, but it also causes stress, tension, and massive exhaustion. On the flip side is the parasympathetic system, the rest and digest mode. This right here is where deep cellular repair, healing, and true youthfulness happen. The amazing secret these ancient traditions knew is that slowly, rhythmically moving your spine acts as a literal physical switch. It turns off that stressful panic mode and instantly flips on the healing, youth-preserving mode.
Section 4, the 3-minute magic technique. So how on earth do we break up this glue, flip that switch, and get that heavenly nectar flowing again? Well, we do it with a ridiculously simple practice called the spinal wave. Honestly, it's a movement so easy that a kid could do it, but it's so incredibly profound that it can completely transform your health. There are 4 basic steps here: making roots, starting from below, creating the wave, and returning. You can actually do this standing, sitting, or even lying down in bed. But for our explainer today, we're going to focus on mastering the standing version. All right, step 1 is all about making roots. You're going to want to start by standing with your feet about shoulder width apart. And whatever you do, don't lock your knees. Keep them nice and soft, just slightly bent. Okay, now close your eyes and take 3 slow, deep breaths. As you're breathing, I want you to visualize your feet growing actual roots deep, deep down into the earth. You're establishing a really firm, stable foundation. This grounds your body and gets your nervous system totally prepped for the movement. Okay, moving on to step 2, which is starting from below. Very, very gently, you're going to tilt your lower back and pelvis slightly forward. It's kind of like you're tucking your tailbone just slightly down into the front. Now, I absolutely cannot stress this enough. This is not some strenuous gym exercise, okay? You are not forcing anything here. It's meant to be a gentle, super subtle awakening of that lower spine. Just hold that slight tilt for one single breath and really try to feel that awakening right at the base of your spine. Let's move to and see how this builds into step 3, creating the wave. This is where the real magic happens, guys. Allow that slight tilt from your lower back to travel upward, exactly like a ripple of water moving through a pond. Your lower back curves, and then your middle back gently rounds out, then your upper back flexes, and finally, that wave reaches your neck, gently tilting your head back so your chin points right up toward the sky. It's this incredibly fluid, almost caterpillar-like motion, just rising all the way up through those 33 vertebrae. And finally, step 4, returning. Just like a wave hits the shore and rolls naturally back, you're going to let this movement roll back down. So your head comes down, your chin tucks toward your chest, your upper back rounds forward, the middle back follows right along, and the lower back releases until you are all the way back in a neutral standing position. Up and down, just like a wave. And get this, within just 30 seconds of doing this, you're probably going to feel a slight warmth in your lower back, or maybe a little tinkling up in your upper spine. That is exactly what you want. That means the spinal cord fluid, that heavenly nectar, is finally pumping. Now, to really get the most out of this, you've got to follow a few golden rules. First off, do this first thing in the morning. I'm talking before you check your phone, before you even sip your tea. Make it your daily physical reset. Second, never ever use force. If you feel any pain at all, just stop. Remember, this is about flow, not strain. Third, you got to be patient. At first, your spine might feel a bit like a rusty hinge, but stick with it. Within a week, you'll feel a difference, and I promise you, within a month, you'll feel like a completely new person. And most importantly, consistency beats intensity every single time. Just 3 minutes a day is quite literally all it takes to unlock your body's natural youthfulness. Section 5, the new resolution of youth. We've looked at the ancient wisdom, we've explored the modern science, and you now have a really practical 3-minute tool in your back pocket. But to truly reverse the effects of aging, it requires a complete mental shift in how you view your own body. The source text actually leaves us with this incredibly powerful reminder. Your body is not made to turn into stone. It is made to flow like water, like the wind, like a river that never grows old. Aging and stiffness, they are not these natural, unavoidable laws of physics that you just have to accept. They're just habits. The day your spine stops moving is the day you start aging. But the day your spine starts moving again, that is the day you begin reclaiming your youth. To really solidify this new mindset, our source suggests a powerful 2-word mantra to claim as your brand new identity. I am fluid. Say it out loud right now. I am fluid. It's not just some catchy phrase, it's a daily promise to yourself. When you say this, you are literally sending a signal to your brain and your entire nervous system that you are breaking free from the stiffness. You're rejecting the glue. You are fully embracing a state of constant, vibrant, healthy motion. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Will you take just 3 minutes every morning to unlock the door to youth and declare, I am fluid? Seriously. It is such a tiny investment of time for just a monumental return in your health, your mental clarity, and your overall vitality. If you are ready to make this commitment with us today, drop the mantra, I am fluid, down in the comments below to make it official. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep flowing, keep moving, and stay youthful.